Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I have no idea about dates anymore. So, yeah, today is a very big day because, well, on the western side of the world, it's a big day. On, on the eastern side of the world, it's a big day. On the western side of the world, tomorrow will be that big day, which is my anniversary, 2-year anniversary. Wow. So yeah, I've met my wife tomorrow, 2 years ago, and met her in her kitchen, if you believe it or not, because her door opened up to the kitchen first. So I met her in her kitchen. I bought like lamb chops and rice, Chinese style, greasy Chinese food. We stood around, ate, watched videos on aliens, UFO, and David Icke. And right then I just knew. Actually, the moment she came out of the door to guide me to where to park the car, I just knew I was going to marry her. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's my wife. And here we are. You know, she was in a one-room place. I was in a one-room place. Together we have created this castle. And just loving every minute of it. So happy anniversary, Jamie Raj. So anyway, today we are going to be doing Purva Phaulgni nakshatra Padha 2. And what happens when you have your moon in the sign of Leo, yet in the nakshatra of Purva Phaulgni, which is the middle part, yet the second Padha of this nakshatra. Because what we're doing is trying to narrow down your thinking. How is it that you really think like? So we know what moon is like in the sign of Leo. I've made a video on that. And then I've narrowed down it to the each nakshatra, and I've made a video on Purva Phaulgni nakshatra, so you can go watch that on my channel. But sometimes people of the same zodiac sign and the same nakshatra don't think alike. That's because each nakshatra is divided into 4 parts called the padhas. And that's what this video is about. It's about the padhas of your moon. How exactly do you think? How exactly do you work internally? Because how we think inside is what we create something outside. What I have created in my world here is started from my head and came through in the real life. And as always, if you do not know where your moon is placed, where your what your planetary placements are, what nakshatra moon is in, what pada moon it's in, for that check out the links here and check out my full astrological report. We're on the page 2 of this report. At the bottom you will know exactly what nakshatra moon is in and what pada moon it's in. Okay, and also you can check out my book, Conjunction Aspects in Astrology at the Speed of Light, including my new magazine on destiny and career, including all the options and consultations on this link. So the sign of Leo is a very, flashy, dramatic, creative, self-expressive sign. It is a sign of, somebody who's just out there in the limelight and wanting to just be, the head honcho, wanting to be the lion in their mind. So when moon is in the sign of Leo, people, they think, okay, I am this great lion in person and I'm going to do things in the most dramatic way, in the most grandest of ways. But then the Purva Phaulgni nakshatra comes into play. So if your moon is on those degrees, it shows that you are very carefree when it comes to your creative self-expression. Kind of lazy, but you're like, okay, my creativity is going to take me through life like a wind. That's how they think. They're like, well, it's like, that's what the symbolism of Purva Phaulgni is, a hamrock. It's like, imagine just me on a hamrock and just thinking, okay, I'm going to write a book one day on astrology. I'm going to open up a channel on astrology, and then the world will know who I am. And here I am just pondering. So what happens is these people are very creative, but sometimes they get stuck in their own head, stuck in their own emotions. And it's hard for them to steer through and take action towards it. But these are the real Leos. These are the real artists, because it's a nakshatra ruled by Venus. And here Venus shows that through art, through creativity, they will create a very luxurious lifestyle for themselves. So a lot of celebrities, actors, musicians, you know, painters have these kind of a moon where the mind is like, okay, I want to create this, and through this I'm going to create a luxurious lifestyle for myself. But what happens with Pada 2 people, okay, it's quite the opposite. Pada 2 people are workaholics of this nakshatra. They are willing to get up and work towards their goal. They're willing to work day and night towards this goal. And they are the people who will look at all the details of their work. These are the perfectionists in the world of art, in the world of creativity, in the world of cinema, in the world of glamour. Whether they are designers, they're going to make sure that the last beat is in line with the rest of the beats. If they're artists, they're going to make sure that each stroke is exactly the way they wanted it to be. Otherwise, they'll throw the whole painting out. If, you know, they are editors and directors and whatnot, they're going to make sure that every single frame is there to make sense. If a frame does not need to be there, they will not have it. So these guys actually become very workaholic, very much stuck into details. But what happens with this is, as much as this is a very productive nakshatra, they kind of get stuck into the details of things. Like imagine there's I forgot, man, there's this name of the artist who was so detail oriented that his one painting never finished, because he just kept working on this one painting, perfecting it. And I remember I took this class of art history in my college, and I remember this whole scenario, but I forgot the artist. It was somewhere in Italy or somewhere in Paris. But that's what happens. They get stuck in creating this one thing where they're missing out the rest of the things, rest of the creative things. Meaning that instead of just, you know, focusing on this one painting that may take them 30 years to make, they should make the painting and create 10 other paintings that will bring 10 other revenues of a revenue stream. So that's what this Pada 2 does. These people become perfectionists about their art. They are the ones who will not be on a hamrock. They're the ones who are on a hamrock and working. So very productive nakshatra, is just that there's always positive, negative to each nakshatra and each Pada and each sign. The positive part here is they will work day and night. The negative side here, sometimes they get stuck into too much details, too much of a perfection in their artwork, and they don't realize that most of the folks who are watching their art may not really care for that detail as they think that they want to do. Okay, so they kind of become the Steve Jobs of their fields, where every detail has to be perfect. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis of moon in the sign of Leo, nakshatra of Purva Phaulgni, Pada 2. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your moon is placed and your nakshatras and padas and books and my consultations all up, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with Pada 3.